Ah, Warden. I trust you've made yourself comfortable. Good, because it's likely to be your last rest for a while. This is Elena. She's...
I am Queen Enora's handmaiden. She sent me here to ask for your help.
Or perhaps the young lady prefers to speak for herself.
The Queen, she is in a difficult position. She loved her husband, no? And trusted her father to protect him. When he returns with no king and only dark rumors, what is she to think? She worries, no? But when she tries to speak with him, he does not answer. He tells her not to trouble herself. So she goes to how? A visit from the Queen to the new Isle of Denrum is only a matter of courtesy, and she demands answers. He calls her every sort of name, traitor being the kindest, and locks her in a guest room. King Kalen was like a son to him, and Logain left him to die. Does he love Enora more? Who can say? I think her life is in danger. I heard Howe say she would be a greater ally dead than alive, especially if her death could be blamed on Arl Eamon.
We may have no choice but to trust Enora. The Queen is well loved. If Logain succeeded in pinning her death on me, I'm not sure that's a risk we can afford to take.
And who would tell them? Me? An elf, escaped from Orlais? What Ferrard noble would listen to my words? Rescue my queen, and I promise she will reveal all, and at the time when it will hurt Logain most. I have some uniforms. I'll hire so many new girls every day. A few more will not cause much stir. I will show you to the servants' entrance. We must slip in and out with my queen before anyone is the wiser. I will go ahead to House Estate. Meet me there as soon as you can.
I'm glad you decided to help. With Enora's knowledge, we have a far better chance against Logain. From Elena's story, he turned against her first. If he truly intends to sacrifice her, I think it will be strong motivation to break the parental bonds. In any event, I would far rather have the opportunity to ask such things of her than simply hear about her murder. If Enora speaks out against Logain, hers would indeed be one of the most powerful voices at the Landsmeet. No more easily than without you there. There will be none to see it, save those who are already loyal to Logain. And given your reputation, Warden, I think Logain knows it's safer to carry out his plots far from where you can disrupt them. She and Kalen were promised as children and practically raised together. She was a smart child, knew how to listen, and how to blink those big blue eyes and get anything she wanted. Her mother's looks, her father's brains, and the best tutoring Merrick's money could buy. It's a potent combination. She's obviously more than a maidservant, but I imagine it's useful for Enora to have a trusted attendant who can move more freely than she herself. And consider what aid she and the Queen might be to us. If Enora has truly turned against her father, she becomes the one thing we lack. Someone with a true understanding of Logain's plans and allies. With her guidance, we can form a far more successful strategy against him. As you like. My palace is your palace.
I haven't been here in a while. They've changed the dining room. What do you need? Yes, me too. And I got the feeling at the end there that it saw us, was aware of us, whatever you want to call it. Could have just been my imagination, I suppose. What do you think? Well, short of waltzing through the entire Darkspawn horde and tapping it on the nose, I'm not sure just how we're supposed to do that. But killing the Archdemon is the general plan, I understand. Good to have you on board. I guess one thing is certain at least, isn't it? It's official. This is a blight. I haven't been here. What do you need? Ask away. Such as they are. About what do you need?
Daniel, I was like to have a fit. Our Lehman needs to show up without notice more often.
Yes.
Indeed.
Oh, blast it.
I swear the things I could do to you.
Ugh, it is leering at me once again.
Oh, did I say that out loud? Dwarven crafts. Fine dwarven crafts. Direct from Orzammar. You won't find better.
Dear me, what's all this buzz? Away with you! Complete.
Dwarven crafts. Fine dwarven crafts. Direct from Orzammar.
Puppy! Puppy!
and your friends are formidable folk, indeed. It's good. I'm...
We are better with every step you take.
You and your friends are formidable folk, indeed. I'm sure...
Yes.
Indeed.
All men are the work of our native hand. From the will
Dwarven crafts. Fine dwarven crafts. Direct from Orthamar. Won't find better.
All over now.
I won't take the blame for this one. This was bad from the start. No way he was here to deal. I won't take the blame for this one. This was bad from the start. No way he was here to deal. Thanks. I ain't sticking around to see how this turns out.
Dwarven crafts. Fine dwarven crafts. Direct from Orthamar.
Warden, they're turning the market upside down to find the burglar who bested All Howe, but no one's the wiser. I'm going to work hard to find something worthy of your talent. You need anything else? I have one last job. A legendary one. Oh, a paltry 10 sovereigns is my take. Ban Frandarel is one of the richest men in the entire kingdom. At his grand ball next week, he's displaying some of his priceless treasures. Paintings of old masters, the armaments of the first king of Denerim, and more. Oh, more. Mages have put up magical wards, but I've got a route that will bypass that. Once inside, I've no idea how you'll deal with the guards, but if you do, you'll be rich and infamous. I can't wait to see what people say.
Magic exists to serve man and never to rule over him.
Strange that matters can be so tumultuous and yet the day still be so bright. Oh, my pardon. Just thinking aloud. Are you here for the Chanter's Board? Well-armed individuals that visit the rectory tend to be here for that. Chanter Rosamond is tireless and resolute in her duties. I'm sure you can find something of interest on her board. I am Sister Justine, curator of the reliquary of this chantry. And pride again. It is hard to live up to the example of Andraste. The archivist tends the books, and I tend the sacred relics. I also search for more to add to our collection, which is more difficult than it sounds. Really? Oh, pardon my incredulity. I would like to examine them in any event. You seem sincere, but I have heard many outrageous claims in my time. Although you appear more capable. Let me see. The scrolls are old, no question, and the script. It's written in cipher. Early believers used them to keep their writings safe from the Divinter Magus. These could be authentic. Please, let me examine it. If you are a charlatan, may the Maker have mercy upon you. There is avarice in your eyes, but I believe you. Inner ruins, you say? I can give you 5 sovereigns. If these prove to be genuine, we can discuss more substantial payment afterwards. I need parchment, quill, and ink. What was the trick to the cipher again? I examined your scrolls. I know a few of the early chantry ciphers, but I'm not fully familiar with this one. The bits I have made out. This may be an account of Maferath's final days, and perhaps more. I know, it's remarkable. The same Maferath who betrayed our prophet and saw her burn alive in Minrath Rus. If we could get a real translation, well, it could be the find of our lifetime. When I finish decoding it, absolutely, but it will not be easy. It could take months. The ciphers were designed to be difficult for the Magisters to decrypt. Who knows what secrets we can uncover, what truths we can find. Here is all of the allowance I have for acquisitions. Take it and go. 1,000 blessings. So much to do.
What do you need? Ask away. What do you need?
All men are the work of our Maker's hands, from the lowest slaves to the highest kings. Those who bring ham without provocation to the least of his children are breaded and accursed by the Maker.
Those who bring ham? And the Maker does not bread sinners.
Oh, would you stop correcting me? I know the chant like the back of my hand.
The Mages Collective thanks you. Make us smile upon you.
Leave me to my business.
Go to the Pearl. Go to the Pearl.
I wish
Remember,
Father found me a
don't kill
better
the
job than
troublemakers,
this.
just knock them unconscious.
It's so nice to be in civilization.
Another visitor in my store. Enjoy browsing my wares. Master Trader Ignacio, at your service, good sir. My cousin and I have trade connections all along the seaways. We have furniture, silks, carvings, and much more. Caesar handles the trade stock, I handle other affairs. No, I am not. I am a trader at heart. My home is the road. But I was born past the waking sea in Antiva. It has been many, many years since I have seen her. But the road is a better mistress than my home city ever was. No. Not yet. Perhaps one day. It has been many, many years since I have seen her. But the road is a better mistress than my home city ever was. On the docks of Rialto, life is cheap. As cheap as the dockside ale and the soiled whores. You can live a longer life out here. And a wise man can make a comfortable fortune in time. Straightforward, predictable danger is refreshing to me. Any moment in Rialto the streets can run red, and often do. I'd take Darkspawn any day. At least you can see them coming. Luck be to you, Warden. You've returned, Warden. I heard it in passing. It is said there are few secrets in the market. Aren't we all? I mean you no harm. That should be enough. I'm afraid my appetite for conversation has waned.
Dwarven crafts. Fine dwarven crafts. Direct from Orzammar.
Warden, they're turning the market upside down. I'm going to... You need anything else? Right you are.
Magic exists to serve man and never to rule over him. Foul and corrupt are they who have taken his gift and turned it against his children.
They shall be named Maleficar, accursed ones. They shall find no rest in this world or beyond.
I was getting to that part. The one who repents, who has faith unshaken by the darkness of the world, and roasts not, nor gloats over the misfortunes of the weak, but takes delight in the Maker's law and creations.
Boasts. It's boasts, sister, not roasts.
She shall know the peace of the Maker's benediction. The light shall lead her safely through the paths of this world and into the next.
Peace, sister, peace. She shall know the peace of the Maker's benediction.
The veil holds no uncertainty for her, and she will know no fear of death, for the Maker shall be her beacon and her shield, her foundation and her...
There's no veil in the chant. You're doing this on purpose, aren't you?
Oh, it's not an interruption, dear. We were just finishing up before mealtime. What can I do for you? Tell you about the chart? What? As if it's a cake you might buy? Well, it's done enough, but a little too much nutmeg for my taste.
Sister, instructing the ignorant is a sacred duty of the chantry.
Fine, then. What do you want to know? It's the 10th stanza from the Transfigurations. Lovely canticle, that one. Oh, you should have heard Brother Caedmon sing it, though. He had a voice like a bucket full of toads. Revered Mother Boanne, bless her heart, always said, if we had more voices like his, the Maker couldn't fail to take note of us. It was tragic, really. Such a surprise.
We don't speak of that.
He was in charge of the lyrium storehouse. It wasn't good for him, you see. He took off all his clothes in the middle of the chant one summer day and ran into the street. He tripped and fell into the vat of elderberry wine for the feast and drowned. We were 6 days drying him out for his cremation. He looked like a pickled egg. So tragic. Oh, there are some very stirring canticles about doom and wrath.
Darkspawn were created by mankind's second sin, pride. Arrogance became a great caged beast in the lands of Tevinter, an emptiness that consumed all and could never be filled. To satisfy its hunger, the mage lords assaulted the Golden City, heart of all creation, to take the Maker's power for themselves.
Why does no one ever sing the good stanzas during chantry services anymore? They speak them. It's called the chant of light, not the speech of light.
Sister, would you kindly stop messing up the chant?
See how you like being interrupted.
Well, you get the general idea, I'm sure.
Yes and no, dear.
The official version of the chant does not speak of the elves. Some of the dissonant verses, however, do mention the disciple Shartan. Of course. The official chant of light is written in Tevinter, but it is translated into the languages of the believers. Some ideas are lost in the process of translation, and words take on unintended meanings. There's a dreadful pun in the Orlesian version in the Canticle of Threnodies, and languages are always changing. The chant must adapt if it is to be understood by the people hearing it. He was an elven disciple of the Prophet. A former slave like Andraste herself, he rallied his people against the Imperium. He was given to the flames alongside Our Lady. Divine Renata had the verses removed during the Exalted March on the Dales. The chant has changed over time. Some of the verses that were sung in the past were taken out. The Canticles of Shartan was stricken from the chant in the Glory Age. They are no longer sung, though scholars still sometimes read them.
Now, where's the fun in belonging to the chantry if you can't proselytize to the heathens a bit?
Blessings of the Maker and of Andraste, his bride, upon you.
No time for...
Sister, that's hardly polite.
It's true, though, isn't it? Doesn't the chant say, you may not lie, for there is only one truth? Praying for the good people of Denerim who've lost loved ones at Ostagar. It's usual to recite a stanza from Transfigurations when you pray for the departed.
It's usual to recite the stanza correctly.
But that's what I said. Now, where's the fun in belonging to the chantry if you can't proselytize to the heathens a bit?
Blessings of the Maker and of Andraste, his bride, upon you.
Message for you, milady. More things to deliver. Goodbye.